Guys, welcome to my Etsy channel. This is Nancy, where my primary objective on this channel is to help you build a thriving business on Etsy. On today's video, I'm doing a Etsy shop critique. So guys, make sure that if this is your first time visiting and you want to learn more about growing your Etsy shop, or maybe you're thinking of opening an Etsy shop, this is the channel to be. I update videos weekly about Etsy, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment on this video. So let's go ahead and get started. I am actually doing a critique on the store called Cross Dish by Vicky. So thank you, Vicky, for allowing me to do a review of your beautiful shop. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I do when I do a review is that I pick a listing that I do an audit on. Now, guys, keep in mind that anything that I talk about, any resources, any links, they're right below this video. There's a text box. You click there and you can see the resources and links to different places where you could get banners, where you could buy clip art, where you could check trademarking, etc. So make sure you click below to look at those resources. The listing that I picked Vicky to go ahead and do an audit is this one right here. So the first thing I want to talk about is product photography. And product photography is very crucial that you have a beautiful, amazing photo. The photo has to be compelling. The photo has to be able to meet two types of buyers. You're going to have the buyer that is searching for your particular item. They see it, they want to buy it. And you're going to have the buyer that wasn't necessarily searching for your item, but they found it, they fell in love with it, and they also want to buy it. Now, keep in mind that a bad photo, no matter how amazing your product is, a bad photo could prevent you from making a sale. So you want to make sure that your photos are compelling, that they have no distraction, that they show the product really well, that there's no confusion in what they're buying, and that it makes them want to click to learn more about that particular item. And also, you want to always keep in mind that when you are listing something, whatever you're listing, that you want to cater to the customer, because everybody nowadays is all visual. They want amazing photos. On top of that, when you sell on e-commerce, the pro of selling on e-commerce, right? I'm sorry, the con of selling on e-commerce is that the person can actually grab the item and touch it and see how it is, or feel the texture of it, right? There's no way that they can. So therefore, all they have to go and buy is the photo. That's all they have to decide whether they're going to buy this item or not, is the actual photo. So you want to make sure that your photo is amazing. If it's not amazing or apart, then it will cost you the sale, basically. Looking at your photo, the product is nice. However, what I would do is when you take a picture of your card, I will remove the plastic. I think that is curating that, obviously it's creating the glare of the light when you took the photo. But yeah, I will remove the plastic, and I will also make sure I take a picture of the full product. Right now is getting cut off. So therefore, it's not, you're not taking the photo in a complimentary way because it's getting cut off. Your additional photos also shouldn't be cut off either. This is okay because you are zooming into the actual circle to kind of showcase it. However, every photo should be the same size. So this photo is different size from that one, and that one is different from that one. So visually, if you want to curate a beautiful shop with the same branding, the same color style, everything has to match. Like, all the photos should be the same size. It should have the same background color. It should have the same kind of style when you take the photo of it. So I would definitely go back, redo the photos. They need a lot of work, but your product is great. It's just that your photo needs to look a little bit better. What you could do is you could look up stores, other people that sell cards, and kind of get an idea and get inspired how they did it. I would do natural lighting, or I would do a light box. I don't know if you ever seen what a light box is. I actually have one. This is what a light box is, and you could buy one on Amazon for relatively cheap. And this is what it looks like. You put your product inside of the box and you take a picture, and it gives you a nice white crystal background. So for cards, this is great because this is small and convenient. Like this one is only $12.99, so that's great. And you put the product in there, you take a picture, and you're good to go. But it's gonna create the illusion of a really nice crispy background. I would take the plastic off, and with that background, you could stand the card just like you did with this one, but in the actual light box. So yeah, I will work on your photos again. To be honest with you, I will change up your photos. And additional to your photos, I will add um, at the end call to actions. So I would tell the customer click below to learn more about this product, because when you do that, you're telling them what to do. A lot of people don't know that they could actually click here to learn more. That they could actually click on the listing. So I will add that, and then I will also add a call to action letting them know to favorite your item, because then even if they don't buy from you at that moment, but let's say they do like your product, they later on, if you were to add additional products to your store, or if you were to run a sale and you were to reduce the price of this particular item, they're going to get a notification saying that your item, that the item that they favorite is on sale right now. So they'll get a notification, and they'll come back and buy from you. So therefore, I highly, highly recommend doing that. That way you could have the more traffic coming to your shop, especially when you start adding more products to it. But yeah, the photo I would definitely work on. So just make sure that you do that. The second thing I want to talk about is SEO. As you might know already, search engine optimization. And SEO is basically how people find your product. So when you do SEO, somebody types in the keyword and you get found, whether it's on Google, Yahoo, Bing, Etsy search results, or Pinterest. And you want to make sure that you meet the criteria of having SEO on page factors and SEO off page factors. And how these work is basically when somebody types in the keyword, they're able to find your listing. Because you put the keyword in the title, you put the keyword in the listing description, you put the keyword throughout the listing description, the additional keywords, you had multiple photos. That's the compliance of SEO, right? So one thing I wanted to point out to you, which I talked about this in my previous couple videos that I did last week, is you could have an XC rank of A, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean you're using the right keywords. So you could have an XC rank of A, but still not be using the right keywords. And what I mean by that is that at the current moment, you're using keywords that are oversaturated. So therefore, you met the compliance of XE-Rank grading system, which is, did you put the keyword in the title? Check. Did you put the keyword in the listing description? Check. Did you use the images? Check. So as long as you do all that, it's going to give you an A. But doesn't necessarily mean you're using the right keywords. So just keep that in mind. You do need to go back and redo your keywords. For instance, this is a great keyword because you are targeting your audience and you do sell Christmas cards. However, because it's an oversaturated keyword, everybody is using it, I don't recommend you using it. So for instance, Christmas card is used by 403,000 people. That means that you're competing with 400,000 people. So keep that in mind. You're competing with 400,000 people. It's going to be very, very hard for you to rank organically for that keyword. And it's also going to be very hard for you if you were to run an Etsy ad, because your cost per click is going to be very high because you're competing with so many people. So they're going to charge you more because people are willing to pay more to get noticed. And keep in mind that also when you use a keyword that you're oversaturated, you're going to be you're going to be left somewhere in the back end back here. So, somebody might shop on page 1, 2, or 3, maybe 3, right? But they're not going to keep looking to find your shop or find other products. After page 3, most likely they won't keep looking. So you definitely want to be able to use keywords that you could potentially land on page 1, maybe 2, but mostly on 1. That's where you want to be, on page 1. So what I recommend is redoing your keywords. That way you could drive some traffic to your shop, increase your views, increase your impressions, and make some sales. But definitely want to work on your keywords. This is too broad. I'm sorry, this is too oversaturated. Christmas card oversaturated. oversaturated. All of these are oversaturated all the way to here. Robin card. I mean, I guess it does describe it because you do have a robin on the photo. This one's oversaturated, oversaturated, oversaturated. And whenever you see a keyword that doesn't have any data on the bottom, it means that that particular keyword, not too many people are searching for that keyword. So Etsy doesn't even rank that keyword, doesn't even give you metrics for it. So therefore, I will also remove that keyword. But you definitely need to go back, redo your keywords. I will only use keywords that come up with 10,000 listings or less. That way you have a competing chance of actually, being able to rank for keywords. But yeah, definitely go back and change them. Once you go back and change them, you want to go back and put them like you did, put them in your title, put them in your um put the main keyword in the beginning of your listing description, because that's your meta description. And this is what it looks like, just in case you're wondering. So the meta description is when somebody searches you on Google, is what Google shows them, so they could have a snippet of what exactly you're selling. So it should have the keyword, and then also it should include an enticing description of the product. That way somebody could click on it. So make sure that you keep it short, because you see how it gets cut off right there after cream. Make sure you keep it short because it's only 155 characters, and you want to meet that. That way, people know exactly what they're buying and they're enticed to go ahead and click to learn more about that particular item. But yeah, you need to do the research. Just go to, just use xcrank.com. Just go in there, start playing with it, start learning SEO. The nice thing about it is that once you start doing it and implementing it, it'll get easier. And it's a learning thing. So don't feel bad or anything. It just takes time. And I did the same mistakes when I first started with my blog. And it's one of those things that you think, oh, this keyword is popular, let me use it. But it's actually backwards. You have to use keywords that are not oversaturated, because at the end of the day, you're competing with those stores. So the more people use that keyword, the less you'll be found, because you're going to be somewhere in the bottom of the search results. Unless your store is very popular and you have, a whole bunch of likes and people are sharing your products, then your social signals and your social SEO score will be a lot higher. So they'll rank you a little bit closer to the first page. But right now, because you don't have no activity in your shop that much, I would say you really need to just stick with keywords that you can actually potentially rank for. The next thing I want to talk about is the listing description, right? So keep in mind, SEO is how the person finds your listing. The photo is what makes them want to click on the listing. And the listing description is what makes them buy, right? It closes out the sale. So your listing description should include what they're buying, how to order, what's included, shipping policy, return policy, how to contact you, etc., etc. Your listing description doesn't look that bad, but I will work on it, maybe adding more information about the shipping, more information about if you do have return policy or not. Make sure you add it. And then I will just be more detailed on what you're selling, how to order, even how to order. A lot of times people don't really know how Etsy works, so they get confused. So just giving them steps on where to go, how to order. But definitely I recommend to go ahead and work on your listing description. Just add a few more details. Keep in mind that your listing description should have everything and anything the customer needs to know. That's the bottom line. Just have everything and anything the customer needs to know. And that way you are covered in the future. God forbid somebody was to do a claim against your shop and they were like, well, that was never told to me, or no one ever explained that to me. You'll be fine. You'll be covered by Etsy. Etsy will protect you because it's already stated, right, in the listing description exactly what they're buying. So therefore, you don't have to worry about someone saying, well, no one, ever explained that to me. Well, it was there, they just didn't read it, right? So, and another thing it helps with credibility, and it helps with unnecessary messages, right? So you still get random people, they'll send you a message asking you about the product, but the great thing about it is that it's going to decrease the amount of messages that you receive of people asking you questions about when would I receive it, or if I order this, do you have it in different colors, or if I order this, can I receive it in 2 days, or whatever the question is going to really help you in order to build that credibility, build the trustworthiness, and hopefully close out the sale. So I will definitely keep that in mind. That way you can increase your sales. It's something that's really important to do. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the curation of your shop. And the curation of your shop is basically how your shop looks. Is it cohesive, right? Um, do you have the same colors and so on? So let's look at it right here. So looking at your shop right at the current moment, sorry, my internet's a little slow on my computer. Um, I would say it looks cohesive because I guess you are taking the similar colors like right here, like these. But what I would do is basically work on, I will work on having a type of style. So I will work on buying that light box that I was telling you before. Because the light box is really gonna help you take your business to the next level. But I would definitely work on getting that because at the end of the day, if your photos don't look that great, right, it's going to really affect your sales. So you definitely want to work on improving how your photos look. Um, so yeah, I would recommend getting a like box, having all your photos be cohesive, the same color scheme. So if you do all with a white background, then stick with that. If you want to do all with a brown wall, background, stick with that. Just make sure that it's cohesive, that you have the same colors, that your cards also are cropped in a complementary way, that you are showcasing the cards the best way, that you have multiple pictures of the card, and also that you remove the plastic, that way you don't have any glare on your photos, and on top of that, that you are using a cohesive color. I think that's the most important part because therefore you're creating a brand. If people were to see one listing of, let's say they saw this listing on Etsy and then they saw this listing on Etsy, they should be able to say, oh, okay, that's coming from the same shop, right? That way there's no confusion of where that particular item is coming from. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind, because then that way it helps with the cohesiveness. It helps with um, when people see your shop, they know exactly where they're coming from. It helps with brand awareness, or it'll take your shop to the next level. So yeah, just working on that. I will also create a new banner. Adding a new banner is going to help you a lot. Making sure that your banner, this is okay that you have the free UK postage, but I would create a banner that resembles what you're selling. That way you could stand out from the crowd. um, you want to look at the other store, right? And the most prominent stores out there, what do they have? They have banners. They have amazing banners. Our banners have like the logo. They have they have like their social media accounts in them. And they take their store to the next level, and that's ultimately what you want. That's ultimately what you want. So hopefully with these tips and tricks, that I talked about today, you'll be able to make some changes, and improve the overall of your store, and then make it way better. That way you can increase your sales. Guys, if you have any suggestions for this account, anything that I didn't talk about, please make sure that you leave a comment below. Where I'm trying to create a sense of community where we all come together and help each other out. So leave a comment below with any questions you guys may have. Thank you once again for letting me do a review. And up to the next one. See you guys. Bye.